I'm gonna break down some of the roles that I've played in my 15 year career. I can't say they are iconic, but they are really interesting. Okay. In 2004, this was pretty groundbreaking. I played a role called AVIONA on a show called Mulawin. I was 18 years old when I did this. It was my first role on a soap opera, fresh out of school. We were supposed to be like half bird, half human. Yeah, and I wore this like helmet, this fiberglass helmet on my head that had feathers attached to it, and it was really uncomfortable. I had to do a lot of fight scenes for my character. Definitely, there was some restriction in movement when we would have to do fight scenes. But I wore that costume for almost a year. They asked me to play the same role in the 2017 version. I almost did it again, but like within the span of 2 or 3 weeks when I was having that conversation with the head writer of Mulawin and GMA, I got the offer to do Pusong Ligaw in ABS-CBN. I went for something new and fresh and something I've never done before, which was the role that I played in Pusong Ligaw. I know that Mulawin has a special place in the hearts of Filipinos, so I'm very happy to have been a part of that. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, this is my version of Aquaman, and Aquaman ain't got nothing on me here. I played a role called Sarah in Atlantika. This was by director Mark Reyes on GMA. It was a small role, doing fight scenes every now and then. We had to do some underwater scenes here wearing the costume. Next. This is me pretending to be Catherine Zeta-Jones in a show called Zorro, which was played by Richard Gutierrez. I wasn't the main leading lady, it was Rian Ramos. I was like one of the girls there, also not a lead here, but I thoroughly enjoyed this show because I liked the costume. This is my favorite look, I think, of all the roles that I played. The costume was flattering. Next. Yeah, I played like an evil witch on a show called The Last Prince. I'm like so non-witchy in person because she was like always angry and screaming and stuff, which a lot of my roles on TV were like, to be honest. And I think by now you could already tell like a lot of my roles involve costumes. The producers see me like as someone who works well in fantasy shows. And do I look like someone that came out of somebody's fantasy? I don't know. Next. Oh, my breakthrough role. I'm happy about this one. Sinner or Saint. I was doing Captain Barbell at the time, and I was pulled out of Captain Barbell to do the show called Sinner or Saint. And in this show, I played a character that couldn't read or write. Straight Tagalog speaking in the role. Got pregnant and then went to jail and gave birth in jail and then rose up from the ashes. This was like the character where I would get such difficult scenes, like monologues this long, and my tear would fall at the exact same time it had to fall, and it would be like, yes, I nailed it. After 7 years of playing contributor roles on GMA, finally one day I said, like, I gotta do something else, guys. So this role allowed me to do that. This is a role where I broke the typecast that was put on me because of the way I look. So one of the things that I struggled with in my career is being boxed into a certain category of roles. Like, this is all you can play because you look and speak this way. This is all you can do. I got to play a non-contra bida lead role in TV. Yeah, but this is a very memorable role for me. And if I could do one role again, I would probably do this one. Next. I played the twin sister of Heart Evangelista, was Blanca. I played Luna. I was the dark one. I was the one who was cursed with black skin. Trying to be as politically correct as I possibly can without offending the ones that made the show and offending the ones that are very particular about how you portray skin color in the media. This came into my consciousness because a family member in the States saw this. They looked me up and they're like, what were you thinking? Knowing what I know now about what has happened in the world, especially like learning about the civil rights movement in the US, I have played a role where I was painted black. This is considered what they call blackface. In some parts of the world, like, it could be considered racism, but in my defense, I didn't know all of this at the time. As Filipinos probably didn't know this. I tried to bury this one for obvious reasons, but I can't bury it and it's online, so I might as well like face the music, right? Next. Mac and Cheese. I don't know why I'm angry in this photo, but this was a comedy. This was a sitcom that I did on TV5. We were only 5 characters in the show. It was me, Empoy. He was like in a love triangle with me and Derek Ramsey. They were twin brothers. and then Jojo Alejaro, who's a comedian, and John Lapus. That was really fun. So we would have a script, but we would pretty much just like throw around funny things to say. That's pretty refreshing for me as an actor, wherein I don't have to like memorize lines and follow them to a T and just do like slapping, screaming, crying, whatever. Kind of over that. I would probably do TV again in a heartbeat. If I was given a fictional show like this that was comedy, ad-lib based. Comedy, please. I want to make people laugh naman. Next! Another breakthrough role, Pusong Ligaw. Since Beauty Gonzalez is in this picture, let me talk about that. The first day that I met her was for the acting workshop for this role. We spent about 6 or 8 hours together where we were just like opening up to each other and crying. And the scene that you see right now in this picture, there's a very important scene in the show because we shot this like in different occasions over the course of, I think, 4 or 5 months, because ABS was like, keep doing it again, you gotta do it right, like more tears, more acting, whatever. And yeah, and I was really like blown away by how they shoot stuff in ABS when they're preparing for a show, because they really want to get the scene right before the show airs. That's usually how it is during the pilot week. And then from Pusong Ligaw, I disappeared into oblivion, and you don't see me on TV anymore right now. People actually always ask me in the comment section of my Instagram and everywhere else. It's like, kailan po kayo ulit lalabas sa teleserye? Parang, I want to do something new. I want to do something fresh. And like, if I'm gonna lose sleep over a show, it would have to be something that I haven't done before. Something that makes me really happy, that in spite of the lack of sleep, being on the set is like really rewarding. And when I'm in that position and I'm feeling like mentally unhealthy, is this worth it? If I had to pick one thing that I regret, parang wala naman talaga yata. There's no like one thing. I think the closest thing would be like allowing myself to be painted black like 4 times a week, not being aware of the repercussions that would have years down the road. If I could probably erase that image from the internet, I would. Not like regret doing the role, but I just want to erase the image from the internet. So my family in America won't say to me, "What were you thinking? Doing a role like that?" I'm sorry. The greatest thing about everything that I have done on TV, I think, is now having an audience, and I want to send positive messages to. I want to give useful content now to all of these followers that I have gained from my lovely showbiz career for the last 14 years. Thanks. And that's all I have for you today, guys. Thanks.